how to find work that you love. Big idea, right? Because we have to work to make money. Money is such a big part of the human experience. And usually to make money, we usually have to dedicate a certain amount of hours and effort to making money. So why not make money doing something that feels good? Like, why have humans for so many generations done work just to do work for the exchange of money? Like, why can't we live in a way where all of us are using our unique talents to care for ourselves, to make an exchange and make money for it? And that's the question, right? Well, the first step really is to ask yourself, do you believe that it's possible? Like, when you see people doing work that they love, do you wonder, oh, they must be so lucky, or how did they get so lucky? Or do you wonder, like, do they even make money? Like, if those things are going through your mind when you see somebody doing what they love, that is a sign that there's something in you that doesn't really align with the idea that that a person can do what they love and also make money. I am the child of 2 immigrants. My parents are both from Cuba. So growing up with immigrant parents, I was really taught that, like, when it comes to career, like, don't even worry about what makes you happy. Like, don't even think about passions or anything like that. Unfortunately, my dad actually wanted to be like a filmmaker back in the day, and he went to NYU. And then my mom, they were dating, and my mom was like, Roberto, you are not gonna make money as a filmmaker. Like, that's too much of a gamble. Like, we do not have the luxury of gambling that way. Like, we just came to this country. Like, you have to study something that is like a guarantee. So he studied to be a doctor, and he did give us a very guaranteed life. Like, everything was, pretty solid. Like, even if he, took a gamble, at the end of the day, he had a very solid job that was going to take care of us. So I was raised to believe that that was the only way to make money. Actually, for a long time, I only thought you could make money being a doctor. Like, I didn't even know there was other careers out there. But then, I was taught, like, those professional careers, like, that's what works, the safe careers. And I don't know if you resonate with that, and it was beautiful teaching. And it's really just comes from a place of, like, our parents or the adults in our lives, like, wanting us to be safe and feeling like safety is happiness. But thankfully, like, we don't have to live in a world where it's just about, like, survival equals happiness. We're really seeking to thrive and to be happy, right? So we're going beyond that survival, beyond that root chakra stuff, and really moving into, like, this heart space of, can I live a life that I'm in love with and be supported at the same time? And that's why we seek this question of, like, how do I do something that I love? So the first step really is to go through your mind and ask yourself, like, do I believe it? Can I get behind that? Do I believe that all artists are starving artists? Do I believe that, only lucky people can be professional YouTubers? Do I believe that, like, it's not possible to do what you love? Like, really get, like, clear on what you think when it comes to this topic. Like, do you believe it's possible for you? That's really the first step. If you don't believe it's possible for you, what's gonna happen is that ideas are not even gonna come your way. Like, you're not even gonna have creative solutions to this challenge. So you wanna align your mind to be like, yes, like, I believe that I'm a soul that was placed on this earth with a unique purpose and talents. And I believe that, like, if I was built that way, like, if I naturally give honey, that it's natural for, or if I naturally am a bee, then it's, like, natural for me to make honey. So believing in those, like, natural gifts of yours, that they're there for a reason, and then that can sustain you. So you really got to align with that thought. And then the second stage is starting to look at those unique gifts and talents within yourself, right? You might have lived your whole life, like, not giving yourself credit for the things that are very special to you, or some of the things that are unique to you. Maybe you've pushed them to the side because maybe they look like they're ugly, that there's no purpose in them, and not realizing that actually your unique talents, when you put them together, They're like ingredients that are gonna make a very special cake that only you can produce because only you have those ingredients. And instead of looking at work as work, like what should I do for work? You really wanna ask yourself, what is my offering to the world? Like, what can I offer to the world that comes from the ingredients within myself? But we first have to realize, what are those ingredients? So for me, for example, growing up, I used to write like crazy journal, like diary stories about like my friends dating. And I was like always kind of not gossipy, but you know, that like into everybody else's love life. And then I would write about it. And, you know, I ultimately became a writer, and I actually wrote about dating for a long time. So it seemed like a little annoying thing. My mom used to always be like, you're so into everybody's business. Like, you think you're a matchmaker. Like, she was like, oh my gosh, my poor daughter. But that was, and you know, it looked a little weird in high school, maybe was a little nosy in high school. But if you put that talent in a book, it was not weird, actually. It was fascinating. It was great. So sometimes it's kind of like, if you ever did any like dancing or any sort of stage work when you were a kid, like, you know how they put like all that makeup on the little girls to go up on stage? I mean, they look ridiculous, but once they're on stage, it looks good. You know, you're like, oh, that talent maybe on, you know, in everyday life may look a little weird or maybe even destructive, but on stage it looks really, really great. So if you're dramatic in real life, maybe that looks a little annoying, but the truth is, if you would write a screenplay, or if you would write novels, or you would be an actress, that talent is just like, that gift of yours is just perfect. So we have to start like finding those things. Some of them may be very obvious, right? Like, oh, I've always been a natural writer, or whatever it may be. And some of them might be the things that we're hiding from, which is what we call the shadow qualities. Like, I'm so afraid that I like attention. I'm so afraid that I'm loud. I'm so afraid that I'm dreamy, you know, or that I'm a little out there. And I don't want to like look at that. But the truth is, as we start to look at those components of ourselves, we start to really see the ingredients that we truly have. And those ingredients tell us what kind of cake we're going to bake. So what kind of offering we're going to give the world. So I want you to take some time today to think about, first, any thoughts out of alignment, anything that like is not allowing me to believe that I can do work that, you know, that is meaningful, that I love, and that also makes me money. Second, I want you to take a moment to look at your own skills, to look at your own desires, the things that you love, the things that you're into, the good and the bad, and write them down. And then the third is, okay, if I had all these things and I had to bake a cake out of these ingredients, what would I make? And that's usually some sort of offering. And maybe it's like, oh, I would be really good at being this person at a company. I would be really good at having a business that's about this. I really should put myself in a position where I'm around people, because that's kind of what's showing here. And always remember that, like, as you evolve, you will find more parts of yourself. So don't put this pressure on yourself to find like the work of your life, the career, the thing that you're going to do for your whole life. Just, what are you feeling called to right now? Like, what is currently calling you? And don't worry if that's going to be a 20-year, 30-year, 40-year career. Maybe it's just going to be a 3-year career, and it just brings you to the next thing. And that's okay, because as you discover yourself, you're going to find more offerings within yourself, and you'll have more to offer the world. And when you are offering and you're in the energy of offering and being so proud of my offering and receive and being able to receive for my offering, that is how you make money doing something you love, because you are giving and also receiving for this thing that you have given with a lot of love, and you receive with a lot of love, because you deserve to receive and to be compensated for your offering in the world. All right, I hope that helped. Leave me any questions or comments in the comments below. Subscribe and share with a friend. Can't wait to see you next time.